Hey, Natural Aesthetics TV. Today I want to talk to you about bodybuilding and the mirror, which is your best friend. Now, although the four main exercises, the strength building exercises, squat, deadlift, bench, overhead press, are very important, and you'd be missing out if you didn't do them. Think of them as the catalyst for your training, the exercises that are going to push your physique to the next level. If you gain strength in your squat, obviously your legs are going to get bigger. There's a clear correlation between strength and size to a certain extent. If your squat goes up, your front squat goes up. Your lunges will go up. Your ability to use more weight on leg extensions, leg curls will improve also. If your bench goes up, your dumbbells will go up, your flies will go up, your dips will go up. Likewise with deadlift, you'll be able to pull more, row more, you'll be able to hold more weight if you train without wraps. So they're incredibly valuable for pushing your physique to that next level. If you gain more weight on your lifts, at some point you're probably going to get bigger. Okay, and I think that's the only way to build a really big natural physique is to use those lifts and get them up to elite level. If you're elite level lifting on those four, then you're going to be big. That's not to say that you shouldn't also train as a bodybuilder and not forget that you are a bodybuilder, not a powerlifter, you're not a strongman. Use the mirror, okay? Use the mirror to judge and take an honest look at yourself, where your physique is, where you want it to be, and is it proportionate, is it aesthetic, is it pleasing to the eye, do muscles fit nicely to one another, is it balanced? That you don't get with just concentrating on the strength of the big four lifts. You don't get that. There are guys out there that are super strong, super strong, and they're very big, but it doesn't mean they have a great physique. It's different. More often than not, I see guys with sort of stick thin arms, large chests, large shoulders, big traps. They're probably on gear, but they've got small arms, they've got a small back. It just looks odd. Their physique isn't balanced. They've achieved a certain level of muscularity in some areas, and you could say they're big, but their physique isn't good. It doesn't look good. It's not aesthetic. So that's why we train as bodybuilders, to make our physique look good. It's as simple as that. We can't control genetics and our shape in terms of muscle bellies, joint size, joint length, muscle insertions. Some people have large sort of wide clavicles, some people have narrow clavicles, some people have irregular abs, some people have even abs, some people have high calves, some people have low calves. Likewise, some people have high bicep peaks, some people have low bicep peaks. We can't control that, but what we can control is putting muscle where we want to put it. If we want bigger shoulders, then we've got to train shoulders. We've got to improve the strength in that, and probably up the volume, maybe the frequency. We have to work harder on those areas to build that muscle, and that's important. Use the mirror every few months to see where your physique is heading. So let's say if I add 50 kilos to my back in the space of a year, and I focus a lot of my energy and attention to that, and I don't really change my arm training. My arm training is the same. Perhaps I'll do a little bit less because I'm focusing more on the deadlift. My back will grow bigger. My back will be more impressive for sure. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be thicker because of that deadlifting. Yet, are my arms going to be bigger? No, because I'm training them less, or at least the same. They're not really going to grow at the same level unless I focus on the arms. And then if I focus on the arms and my deadlift is 50k stronger, then my arms are going to get a hell of a lot bigger because I'm able to use more weight, especially on stuff like curls. You're able to hold more weight in your hand. You're able to use your hips more on the heavy cheek curls. I believe it is proportional to a certain extent, but my arms won't get bigger if I just focus on that deadlift. So let's say I just focus on that, then I'm going to look out of proportion. My physique will not be the shape that I want it to be. My back has got bigger, my arms have stayed the same. If you're bodybuilding you need to be aware of that, and sometimes people lose track of that. Okay, so look at the mirror, judge your physique, be honest with yourself, use the strength exercises to continually progress your physique. Strength should always be on the forefront of your training. However, keep an eye on the proportion, symmetry and balance of your physique. And if you need more fullness to your shoulders or calves, then you have to train it. People always say to me, oh, my arms, they don't need to do much arms. They get enough stimulus from chest, shoulders and back training. No, not really. Okay, that's why a lot of powerlifters have small arms in proportion to their physiques. Their huge back, their huge shoulders, they're huge. But their arms sometimes are smaller in proportions because they don't spend a lot of time training. You're a bodybuilder, you've got to do things a little bit differently. So don't get caught up in that rat race of doing the big lifts all the time. Those lifts are the driving force of your training. Okay, sometimes you need to be honest and look at your physique and not forget that you are a bodybuilder. Okay, you're sculpting your body using exercises to put muscle onto certain areas. If you lag in certain areas, then train those areas more.